Hey now, what's the buzz? Tech's evolving, it's all because
Hello everyone, welcome once again to Tech Sculptics. This is B to the E to the W-N-Y-Y Ben Nori. You can also call me Benedict Ojobo, your tech sculptor on Tech Sculptics. So this is an exciting time. I'm excited to be here with you and our guest, Tosin Joel. And you know, what happens when artificial intelligence meets billion-dollar energy deals and global risk strategy? Today, we're diving into the boardroom and the back end with Tosin Joel. So Tosin Joel is a venture builder at the nexus of energy and technology, including financial services, known for scaling high growth ventures and driving innovation through AI, big data, and strategic partnerships. With a proven track record across global energy markets and capital markets, she has led 1 billion plus renewable energy projects, directed a 20 billion hydrocarbon portfolio, and delivered 250 million in operational savings through process optimization. She mentors an early stage AI startup, transforming risk management, and is deeply passionate about ventures that create scalable, sustainable impact amid industry disruption. Recognized by MIT Sloan and multiple global awards, Tosin brings a rare blend of leadership, exploration, expertise, and AI-driven insight to future shaping industry. So I'm going to welcome you here now, Tosin Joel. We are so glad to have you on Tech Sculptics, and you are a tech sculptor for today. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Benedict. Hi, everyone. My name is Tosin Joel. I'm a tech sculptor.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm going to first of all ask you a question. The fact that you're at MIT and stuff, and you know how we met is interesting because I actually entered into a competition, and Tosin happened to be one of the judges in that competition. So, and that is interesting to have to reach out, and also you responded to the call and all that. So, I want to know what are you doing in MIT? I have 3 questions I want to ask you, but I just want to divert a little from the questions and ask, what is happening in MIT with you? Or how did you get to MIT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for putting this together and the invite. I actually graduated from MIT in 2022. I did an MBA and I was a Sloan Fellow.
Wow. Interesting. That's interesting. So is there something else you want to
Regarding
say? Yeah.
innovation, and they're doing a lot of really great stuff there. I have a lot of connections that we are still connected and doing a lot of innovative stuff in front of AI. So for efficiency, for grid optimization, risk mitigation, a lot of use cases of AI.
Wow, interesting. So my question to you now is you have led billion-dollar projects in energy and mentored AI startups. Where do you see the most transformative use of AI in business today, especially across high-stakes industry like energy and finance?
I was saying about the use case of energy, really power of AI for those use cases. But we begin to see immediate applications in the field of efficiency. So when you talk about large load distribution, forecasting demand, especially when it comes to data centers, on and off peak hours, utilization efficiency, grid optimization, building smarter grids that is more resilient, but for consumers and industry, AI can help a lot, but for predictive, but also optimization. Now, efficiency, also the area of pricing efficiency when it comes to the grades, price and rate payers. You can also use AI to be able to optimize that, both for consumers, but also utility companies. That is also use cases of AIs. And finally, when it comes to operations, a lot of repetitive tasks that people have to take care of on the customer care front, but also like operations and training, talent management. There is a very huge use cases of AI there on automating a lot of processes and on remote evaluation. Now, when it comes to financial services, there's a huge part that AI plays when it comes to risk management. So you want to be able to properly predict when you're talking about the major risk in financial institution. So going from credit risk, to fraud risk, to pattern recognition, anomaly patterns, AI is very efficient in digging this out and helping you to identify your risk bucket so that you can create oversight programs and a lot of mitigative measures in order to protect your business.
Interesting. That's really deep. Since you mentioned some of the use cases in the use and all that, I know you are also big in risk management and all that. So, one of the key areas you have tackled with AI, like risk management and all that. So, how exactly is AI changing how organizations access and mitigate risks at scale?
Absolutely. And you touch a very big point. So when it comes to risk management and AI, you want to evaluate the positioning of your portfolio, but you also want to position yourself in a way that you're more efficient when it comes to your underwriting. In other words, you want to shoot up your underwriting game. That's how AI comes into place. So you're moving from dated static models to dynamic models. So using things like consumer patterns, payment patterns, not just conventional DTI, but also LTV of loans, but you're using also pattern recognition in how your consumers behave, not just the conventional credit score in order to assess their credit worthiness. And also when it comes to businesses too, they're able to leverage AI for that. But not only that, you're able to also use AI to fasten and hasten up your speed of processing. So when it comes to underwriting, shortening the underwriting when it comes to deals from weeks to a matter of days or even seconds. And when it comes to credit claimants adjustment, but also beyond that, when it comes to, you paying back approval of processes, AI and agentic AI especially can help to really fasten this up.
Nice. So on. So I'll follow that up with a question that is so interesting that as someone who has built ventures, and drives strategic partnerships and all with companies and all that, what advice would you kind of like give to founders or execs trying to integrate AI, not just as a tool, but as a core part of their business model? Because some people in fact, now some people still don't want to start using AI. They don't want to use AI because some of them are having different kind of notions about what AI is and what it will do. Some are saying different kind of stuff. I don't want to mention them because they are somehow religious and all that. But how would you advise? What advice would you give to this set of people that want to integrate AI not just as a tool, but also as a core part of their business model?
That's a great question. And there's nothing new about AI. Machine learning, deep learning has been in the weeds for over decades. So as a business owner, you ask yourself, are you positioned for disruption? Are you positioning yourself for competitiveness? Within the next AI is changing the games. Usually the curve of innovation used to be longer. With AI, it is shorter now. You have many people that spend years and months in dev mode. Right now, you can write your code and do everything within a day. So just think about that for 1 second. A lot of you don't have to be a tech savvy person. There are a lot of low code platform lovable. So as a business owner, I really want to encourage you to leverage as much as possible AI and going from maybe market research to your market segmentation, but also when you want to make AI a core part of your value proposition, you start from your customers and you work backwards. What is AI going to do for you? Of course, there are other things that you have to think about, which is, for example, data risk. How are you going to ensure that your gates are well protected, especially if you're building on other platforms? The business one too. the ownership of your data, the models you're training. If you're not owning it, if you're just leveraging existing models that are there, how are you going to ensure that you have your cyber risk and business risk protected? How are you going to make sure that you don't get disrupted the next day? Because easily as you can deploy something, somebody else can go to the market and deploy the next day. How are you going to stay ahead of competition? What are you going to own? So it boils back to your data.
Wow, nice. I love the fact that you are mentioning data and also saying something about ownership. Ownership by like owning your data or something. So how can we do that? Like a layperson that is just using, like for example, a lot of people now use AI to do a lot of stuff. Like they just go online, whatever they have any problem they want to solve, they just go and use generative AI to try to get solutions and all that. So how do you own those kind of data that you generate from GPTs?
I mean, that's a good question. So when it comes to Gen AI, the platform is there. You can choose whether it stores your data and you use it to train the model, but even that is not 100% accuracy and efficiency level. So as a business owner, you want to understand your customers. You want to know your customer spending patterns. If you're a retailer, you want to know what kind of product moves faster. If you're B2B, you also want to know which are the customer pain points, is there any improvements, what are the insights you get. All of this is what makes your business rich. When you use just a platform where you have no control on it, no control on the data, you leave some value on the table. So my best bet is that whatever thing you do to really lean in on the ownership of the data, because the more you know your data, the more you know your customer, the more you can innovate to create value for them. The core of your business center, they centered around value offering. People are willing to pay money for the value you offer. So the more you begin to differentiate yourself, you begin to own in on the value proposition to the customer by knowing the customer, obsessing on the customer. That's what the customer data and insight does for you. Because without that, you're just shooting blanks.
Yeah. So basically, we're saying that AI is going to help you understand your customers better when you build um, different kinds of stuff around it to help you serve your customers better, right? Something like
Yeah, I mean, it shoots up your value proposition. Right now you can play in any field because you have the tool sets to help you to actually play there. Going from market insight to optimization metrics, every single one of those data points that you touch is value to someone at a different or the same vertical. Now you can choose to leverage this or provide goods as service, information as service to other people. There is always value there around the data that you own. And how much you leverage those data is what will make your business or make or break your business as it begins to go forward.
nice. So now I want to bring you back home because I'm in Nigeria and in Africa. So particularly in Nigeria, like when it comes to AI, like still, yeah, a couple of people are using it and all. And what do you think like the tech community in Nigeria will do to be able to encourage our society, especially business owners, founders, and stuff, to try to begin to leverage AI as a tool to upscale?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the first thing is on the use case of it. Which area are you planning to deploy it? How much of problem are you solving? The scalability and the impact of it. And the third case is on the education part of it. So growing more on the PPP side, the public and private partnership initiative. So having like big tech companies, especially those that are willing to really sell or rent out um, GPUs to businesses, partnering up to really educate consumers on the benefit of this. We have a lot of infrastructure in Nigeria that can serve as data centers,
Hmm.
among other things. So that PPP is very critical for development of both infrastructure, but also the education on how this can be leveraged. Now, for a generative AI, many people are already using GPT. So it's just really leveraging it to say, so what? How do we use this to solve critical energy shortage problem? How can we use it for grid modernization? How can we use it to better predict? How can we enhance businesses to scale better, faster, quicker, and help the continent to grow when it comes to infrastructure development?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really love the fact that you talk a lot about how you can use AI to improve your service to your customers, and also how you can use it to scale your business and all that. Because here in Tech Sculptors, we are so big on tech for humanity, because we believe, like we always say to people when they come on the show, I say to them, I say, yes, AI is very smart, like people say, but they are not smarter than humans. They are built by humans, so they can't be smarter than humans. They are like tools in our hands to enhance whatever we're doing. So whatever technology or whatever tech tool we have is to help us make our life better, to help us save time, to help us improve our businesses or improve our lives, or medical services, or whatever business you are doing, is just to use those tools to be able to help you improve your services or upscale in whatever level you want to get. So I'm happy that you are mentioning these points and all that. So I want to also take like a last question, like since you are into tech, like big tech, because I know you managed to talk about a lot of data and stuff like that. For like people that don't have the experience in tech or AI, and they have businesses, because some people will say, no, I can't put my business, I can't use AI for my business, because we know that they will be collecting data from my business and stuff like that, and they may use it for other stuff. So what advice do you have to those categories of people?
That's a good question. And that comes to the applicability. What kind of business are you doing? If it is customer facing, direct customer facing, you want to find out what is the core value? How can you upskill that? If you're thinking of just playing in your field, how do you stay competitive? It's not everything that has to depend on ChatGPT. ChatGPT is generative, is just a very small piece of it, but you can leverage it for so many things like market research, market insight. Consider that you have a PhD assistant that is helping you to. So rather than hiring five market research analysts, you can go and do it within seconds.
Wow.
You can go do it within seconds. You can position yourself. And for things that you need to touch on people day to day, you can also log and say which goods are moving faster than the other, and then reinforce on that. Now, it seems organic to say, well, this is given, but when you begin to build patterns over time, it tells a story.
Yeah.
That is where you can really leverage a lot of, machine learning methods to help you to predict at what point in time do you have certain demands? How can you leverage this demand to grow your business? How can you play? So it's really a question of, do you want to play local, or you want to take your business national when it comes to Nigeria, or you want to take it even global when it comes to the world? So as a business owner, how you want to position yourself on the vision and the roadmap of your company, AI can help you to get there.
Interesting. That's really interesting. So, and I also know that you kind of like you mentor startups. So, can you share more light on that? Like, let us know what you do with your startups, or how we can, if for example, Tech Sculptics, because we love partnership a lot. Like, if we have startups we want to work with, how do we work through that with you? Or what do you do with startups that you mentioned?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I've worked with founders, being a founder myself. I work with a lot of founders. I understand the early stage founder journey. So when it comes to like markets, go to market strategy, market segmentation, scaling strategies, partnership opportunities, those are the things that I do help both mine and other people's startup to get to. I am very lucky to have a group of friends from Stanford that we created back, which is Black African Ventures, and really focus around helping founders of African origin to connect them with opportunities globally. So it's part of the scope of what I do. But a big part of what I do is around working around that value proposition, coring and working deep down on the customer side, helping the startup to scale at the very early stages.
Wow. Interesting. So I want to thank you so much, Tosin, for joining us because it's been a very worthwhile conversation. And I know that all the audience listening will be able to understand, especially founders and startups will know that it's important that they focus more on their customers, and AI can help them understand the customers better. AI can help them scale and help them study the data of their businesses to be able to understand customers and also be able to get to serve better and give value to our customers as they serve them. So I want to thank you so much for taking our time to come to Tech Sculptics. But before we let you go, I want you to tell us like something that you want to share with the world about Tosin Joel that we need to know. Maybe it could be a business, it could be something you just want us to know about you.
Yeah, so I don't know. I try to shy away from self-promoting myself. I really focus around value capture. At the core, which is really impact. How do we change generations? How do we create value? How do we connect talent to opportunity? For every single venture that I build and I back is really mission driven on that, changing the world one generation at a time.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Tosin. It's been really exciting sitting with you and having this conversation today. And I'm glad and I'm happy that you took time out of your schedule. You don't need to shy away from promoting yourself because you've done a lot and you have a lot that you've done for the world. Like you've impacted a lot of people. I know you don't want to share some of the information, but it's really great having this conversation with you. And I hope that next time when we come calling, you will jump on to the show to share what you've been doing with the world and the impact you've been making in the world. Thank you so much for coming to Tech Sculptics, and we're glad to have you.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank
you so much, Benedict. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Got the vision, got the drive. Tech is the force that keeps us alive. Join the movement, don't hesitate.